Hi folks, this is Rockman Pat and I want to welcome you to another Geo Talk. Today we are at the mighty Teton Range, part of a much bigger range of mountains called the Rocky Mountain Range. Now the Teton Range extends about 40 miles in a north-south direction. It is a fabulously picturesque range that has probably been photographed more than any other mountain range. The name Teton most likely came from the Shoshone word Tiwanaut, meaning many pinnacles. The Tetons are a study in basically three things. One, mountain building, or as geologists call it, orogeny. Two, ice or glacial formation and glacial evidence. And three, the Genesis flood evidence. Now, there are today about 12 glaciers in the Teton Range, and they have all retreated or been retreating since the 1800s. The Tetons rise straight up, which shows vertical uplift, something unusual in orogeny. The tectonic activity toward the end of the Genesis flood could account for the upward uplift. In the Genesis view of things, mountains form a natural barrier to another global flood. The Tetons display a number of very obvious glacial features. Now, it was Louis Agassiz in 1846 who first suggested the idea of an ice event in Earth history, and he never called it an ice age. He meant with scoffing and resistance initially, which is typical of ideas which don't line up with the consensus thinking. Looking at the Tetons, you will notice several glacial features called cirques. These are amphitheater-shaped cutouts. Glacial valleys. These are U-shaped extended valleys. Horns, sharp-edged rocky crags cut by moving glaciers. And glacial lakes. Now, these are bodies of water originally left by melting glaciers and bounded by moraines. Moraines are graded gravel bounded by piles of gravel and sand and silt left there as the glacier stopped moving and deposited its load, similar to a road grader. Now to the fun mystery. At the top of Mount Moran, 12,610 feet, is a flat surface composed of sandstone containing marine fossils. Now, this is strange because the Tetons are predominantly made of metamorphic rock. What's the sandstone doing up there at the top, and especially filled with marine or sea creature fossils, and the rest of it in amongst metamorphic rock? What's it doing there, and how did it get there? This question really is easily answered by the Genesis flood. If you take a look at the basic historical framework in Genesis, the Teton Range was much lower, of course, before the flood. The flood covered these formations with sediments, and then these mountains rose up toward the end of the flood, washing off the sediments that had covered these formations during the flood, leaving the more resistant sediments in place. And there, 12,000 feet higher, are those marine or sea creature fossils.